Hello, hello, hello. It's Nicole Mullicane, everyone's Princess Planner, and I am coming to you on Monday with another video. I'm still so excited. I can't get over the fact that I'm actually doing this. And actually, I want to confess something. It is actually Sunday evening, so if I'm a little bit quiet and not as woohoo, it's because it's Sunday night and everyone's gone to bed, and after I'm done filming this, I'm going to bed too. But I wanted to make sure I kept my promise to have a video for you on Monday. So here I am filming for you. So you're welcome. And you might notice I figured out my video issue. So if you all stuck around and watched it, just get ready because it's only going to get better. They always say that when you start off, your first videos are like not the best. They only get better. So here we are, getting better already. So I really want to talk to you. And I'm sorry if I look, sometimes the ring light, I have to figure out the filming because it's getting in my glasses and I don't like that. And it distracts me. So I'm trying to figure this out. So again, it's only going to get better. So today we're talking about our word of the year, and you may already have one. You may already be familiar with the process to come up with one. You might not know what I'm talking about, and you might be like, what is this? And so wherever you are in that process, whether you have one, don't have one, are intrigued by it, let's just stick around and figure this out. If you do have a word of the year, I would love to know what it is. Please share it below. You can like, comment, and also subscribe, and we can all hang out together. So share it. If you have a word, share it. So a word of the year, like why? Well, it's a theme for the year. So just like want you to imagine that it's December 31st and they're getting ready to count down. It's getting ready to switch to 2023. What do you want that year to look like? How do you feel in that moment? How do you want to feel? What are you wearing? Who are you with? Where are you? Now, if you've imagined those things and you've thought of some things, write them down. Like grab a pen and paper right now, pause me, and write that stuff down. Just don't think about it. Don't question it. Don't whatever. Just write like there's no tomorrow. And now that you have everything written down, try to make connections. Maybe you're feeling amazing. Maybe you are imagining that you're wearing a smaller size. So maybe health is something that you would want to focus on. So health, change, growth, courage, brave, all of those might connect to what you're feeling there. Maybe you are single and you're imagining that you're getting your kiss at midnight from this really amazing guy, gal, them, whatever that looks like. And that's amazing. So maybe love or passion or romance is your word. Maybe it's change. I know for me, I've been doing this for many years now. And in 2019, facing a layoff and having some goals that I really wanted to go hard on in 2020, change became my word. And I'm not saying that I brought about the global pandemic, but I don't think any of us were prepared for the change that we occurred. But here's the thing. By having the word change as my word for the year, I kind of embraced it. I'm not saying it didn't impact me. I'm not saying that I magically, came through it unscathed, but my word was change. And so I had embraced that process. So I really felt like I wasn't as, and maybe if you know me, you're like, I call bullshit on that. And that's okay. But I really felt and still feel like not that it didn't get to me, but that my word kind of grounded me in it. So that's one thing that your word can do for you when you pick a strong word and when you pick one that you really connect with. You'll be amazed at what happens when you embrace how one word can just make such a big difference. So there we go. So that's just one way. That whole process is just one way to approach your word of the year. There's another way that we're going to talk about. But one thing that I want to talk about is your goals and your resolutions. So, like I mentioned before, when you are facing the beginning of the year, you feel passionate. You feel like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this is the year. This is the year that I lose all the weight. This is the year that I tackle my health. This is the year that I get that relationship. This is the year that I go hard for that job. And then here we are on February 7th, and maybe you haven't walked as much as you wanted to. Maybe you didn't quit sugar. Maybe you started to quit sugar and then you got in a fight with a family member and you went right for the ice cream. It's okay. It's okay. Every day when you wake up, it's a whole new day to start over. Whatever time that is. Maybe you woke up late from your alarm. Still, that's okay. That's the only one thing that's happened to you. Everything else is fresh. And if you woke up on time and everything's going great, that's amazing too. But every day you get to make new choices. You get to start over. You get to start again, try again. And maybe it takes 10 times, but you just keep trying. Don't give up. Don't give up whatever your goal is. But that's the power of the one word. The one word is not a goal. It's a theme. And that's the thing about having the word. Because from the word, what you would do is you're going to cultivate and root yourself in things that are going to align with that goal. So if you take it differently, right? If we don't do a word of the year and we focus just on goals and resolutions, and I'm not saying that this is the only way, but here's where I think that it makes more sense, at least to me. And I'll get to my word in a minute. But when you pick a word, it's going to, like I said, ground you. And then you're only going to pick goals that are going to align with that. So you're not going to do something and spend time on something that really doesn't align with you. Whereas if you're just like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go on my treadmill. I'm going to make sure that I meditate. These are all good things, but maybe they don't align with your goal, and maybe something would be removed. So you're not spending time doing things that aren't alignment in the life that you actually want to cultivate. So when you pick your word, you're actually making progress for you, on you. So another way, so that, like I said, that there's one way where you envision and see yourself and write the things down. That's great. Another way you can find your word of the year is you can actually go onto social media. If you have Instagram, you can do hashtag word of the year, one little word. And you'll get images that'll come up of words that people have chosen. And I really wouldn't spend a whole lot of time. I would spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes looking through it, because you don't want to get distracted. Because a bunch of words that, like, it's going to look, it's like if you imagine like a beautiful store, and like you want to put everything in your cart. You don't want to put all these words. You don't want to pick a bunch of words. You probably wouldn't want more than 5. And then, so from those 5 that you find, you can also use Pinterest. Pinterest is another really good place to go to look for your word for the year. Or like I said, one little word. Those 2 things will give you some words. So Pinterest, Instagram are great. Facebook too. You can definitely use Facebook. I'm sure on Twitter you can probably do it. But the reason I like Pinterest and Instagram more is the photos. A lot of people will have a beautiful image, and that kind of just, I'm being somebody who's a scrapbooker, I'm really into photos, so I gravitate more to that. But if all you need is the word, then, you know, of course you can go to Twitter to look for it too. So now that you do that, you pick out no more, I wouldn't pick out any more than 5 words. Then you would want to kind of go to a dictionary and look at the definitions. Something's going to jump out at you. And if the words that you like just are like, they're good, but they're not strong enough, then maybe looking at a thesaurus and finding another word. Because, you know, a thesaurus is going to bring out more than one word. And you might find one that's like I said, like stronger. Because you want a really strong word for your word of the year. So this is mine, and I have my happy planner I talked about last time. So I'm not sure how to get the camera to do it, because this is going to be backwards, but my word's abundance, and you'll notice I have some goals here. So we have relationship, career, spirituality, adventure, finance, and health. And then we have a bunch of Disney stuff, because I also want an abundance of Disneyland in my life. I am going for that. So abundance, the reason, so that word jumped out at me in the summer this year, and I wrote it down. I went right to my notepad and I put it down. And what happened was I went onto Pinterest one day, and there was like, when you pull up Pinterest, if you haven't pulled it up before, you have like, once you sign in and you like things, you get like a wall, and it has like a bunch of different things, like recommendations. It could be recipes, whatever it is that you're liking and you're building bulletin boards for, you're gonna get like suggestions, and it's a bunch of different images. So like, I love quotes and animals and bake and recipes, and, you know, just pink and, you know, planning, scrapbooking, all different Disney, all bunch of different things. So those will load up on my screen. Well, I got a bunch of abundance quotes. And here's the thing, like, at that time, I wasn't manifesting. I didn't even look up the word abundance. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I don't believe in coincidences. So I just took that as a sign and I wrote it down. Now, what I should have done is I should have saved at least one of those quotes, because when it came time for the end of the year, those quotes were like nowhere to be found, because I didn't save them. I just went and wrote the word down. But what I did was I looked up the definition, but when it came to the end of the year, for some reason, I was really resisting that as being my word. I looked up alternate words. I checked the thesaurus, and the one thing that really stood out to me was I didn't feel worthy of my word. Abundance typically gets associated with money. And I was like, I felt like that was making me greedy. I felt like I didn't deserve it. I wasn't worthy of it. And then I thought about if I was talking to a friend. If I was talking to a friend, I would tell them, abundance is a great word. Why wouldn't you pick that word? Of course, So I was like, you know what? I'm going to embrace this. And then I mentioned her before, and I promised you I was going to link her channel. And this time I'm going to figure it out. So I'll link it this time. So because again, I'm new to this. So then I was watching a friend, I say friend because I feel like she's a friend, but she honestly has never met me. I was watching her video on her word of the year, and she actually attached goals to her word. And that just was like, and that's where I got that idea of putting certain things where I would want an abundance of, like an abundance of spirituality, an abundance, in having a career that I'm passionate and I love, in abundance in finance, getting out of debt and growing wealth, adventure, being able to travel with my husband and my friends, to go places, to be able to go and see my family that live in the Midwest. And it doesn't mean that this all has to happen in this year, but cultivating that abundance. And this is where I talk about when you're with your goals. I don't want to spend time on things that aren't bringing abundance into my family and my friendships, relationships. That's something that spending time with the people and investing in those relationships, the people who want to invest in me, and not spinning my wheels, and doing things that aren't going to be bringing that abundance, that happiness, that beauty, and that love into my life. So that's how I'm personally tackling that. So, whatever that is for you, then I encourage you to, like I said, go on social media, go to Instagram, go to Pinterest, one little word of the year. Do the exercise. Again, imagine that it's the end of the year. How do you want to feel? What are you wearing? Who are you with? How do you feel? What do you look like in that moment? What are you wearing? What music is playing, or what sounds do you hear? What are you looking at? When you're standing there on December 31st, are you looking out at the ocean? Are you on top of the Eiffel Tower and, at midnight? Amazing. So maybe like adventure, maybe explore. Like, again, those are really great words. So what is it? And once you figure it out, comment below. Tell me what your word of the year is. And if you already have one, again, tell me what it is. And then I encourage you to go a step further. If you haven't already, find those things that are going to connect to your word. We're going to talk a little bit more about this process and, tackling your year and making you the best year ever. But I really want you to encourage you to do this exercise if you haven't already, and go through it. And let's do this together. And let's make 2022 the best year ever. We've got this. I will see you on Wednesday. Have a wonderful day. Bye.